Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I really kind of wanted to talk about malware, network penetration, and just cybersecurity in general. Seeing as how more and more, larger institutions, YouTubers, MSPs, and everybody's kind of getting destroyed. I guess in a quick summary, just to mention, and the purpose of this video would be more to more or less just raise awareness, like, hey, this is out there. Keep an eye out. Just there's so many ways that somebody can just take over your network or your system. And what you guys are seeing here is probably sorry, is probably the most popular one through junk mail and spam. Um, Through the multitudes of different ways your network could be intruded. Obviously there's Trojan horses. There's viruses. There's keyloggers. There's everything and anything and everything under the sun. Um, some of the exploits that we have been hearing about, and some of them being Spectre and Meltdown, they are serious exploits when you go down into the documentation and actually read what's going on. However, the drawback is that the intruder has to be physically in front of the system for that to work. Now, just taking a step back and talking about like spam email, one of the things that I kind of wanted to bring to your attention is like, hey, listen, there's with in this day and age, network intruders, hackers, scammers, everybody is just getting more creative with how they're delivering their scam or how they're penetrating the network. And in most cases you wouldn't even realize what's going on until it's too late. So just looking over here, this is my junk folder. I just wanted to sort of walk through some of these emails with you guys and just point out the flaws uh, of of these. They're not as obvious as they were 5 years ago, and to somebody who is just casually browsing their email, wouldn't even notice it. But to somebody who's actually looking for it, it is definitely something that is still easily spotted. Um, Spoofed servers are still something that's very, very, very difficult to properly emulate. I guess that's the keyword that I kind of want to use. And you're kind of left with like different domain names or randomly generated strings of email that once you actually take a minute to sort of breathe in and observe the information that you're looking at, it's very easy for you to spot that you're looking at something that's not legitimate, and that they're potentially after your money or your information or both. So I'm just gonna go through a couple of these emails, and after that we're going to observe uh, closer, and we're just gonna have like just a general discussion with regards to um, just with regards to like general state of things, who these emails are aimed for, and what you can do in general to just better protect yourself. So we're gonna go. As you can see, there's different variety of emails. So you have this guy who is labeled important and high priority. Then you have an email that's just labeled high priority. Then you got a couple of emails with I think these are called emoticons. I'm not really sure um, the proper terminology. So please, if I do mess something up, just let me know in advance, and I'll keep it in mind for the for future videos. So the first email I kind of want to look at is Oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, that was a little longer than it had to be. So back onto the subject. With regards to somebody potentially gaining access to your network or taking over your machine or your entire network, 99% of the time, I personally want to say that it is a user fault, as in the infiltrator will depend on the user, whoever's using the computer, to make a mistake that's large enough, like executing a infected file or opening an infected file, just so that we can make sure that everybody understands, and them gaining access to the infected system. Now, for the purpose of this, like I said, I do want to go over some of these emails and just give you just a general what to avoid type of information, because just some of these over the years have become very 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 sophisticated, and getting the ability to recognize them better and better it's just generally becoming more difficult. So let's have a look at, say, oaomawali909@gmail.com, and the subject is, our website would enable you to hang out with your soulmate and start a relationship with her. Now, I mean, okay, sure, let's say for argument's sake that I am interested. Let's open it, and it doesn't really seem like that much grammatically. So let's just evaluate the email a little bit, okay? It's coming from a legitimate email. It's not just a randomly generated string or something like that. However, Outlook doesn't seem to be finding um, any previous interaction between this person and I. I'm like, okay, so red flag number one. This is a complete stranger. I have never interacted with them so far. So let's just explore that a little bit more, okay? So you can be dating women that have the type of physique you find stunning. Lots of local and blah blah blah. Right. So that's the contents of the email. If we're gonna be judging by it grammatically is it seems fine. Lots of local women you may have noticed before are on our website looking for a dude. Now, on in the linguistics side of things, looking for a dude is, it should be, ding 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 ding. It should be raising all the red flags, because it goes from a relatively professional tone to something that is way too casual. Just, oh yeah, they're looking for a dude. Like, it just sounds something that you and your friend would be having a conversation about, rather than something that a business or somebody who's a a professional contact or a family member would be conversing with you about. And then we have a link. Uh, I Okay. So on OBS, it's not really showing up, but the hyperlink that is giving me is a Bitly. Safe links protection. Let's open it, right? Like, I'm fairly confident that and there it is. It's a spam email, right? And this is a fairly good way for somebody to steal your information, if you were gullible enough to fall into that. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Binance announcements. Binance announce. Sorry, it's not even announcement, and it is labeled high importance. So let's take a look. Dear community. Okay, so before we continue, this is actually a very good example of the type of email that I wanted to bring to your attention. So, looking at the to and from, right? Like, it's okay, cool. So they got my email, right? Perfect. Now, who is it coming from? Binance announce. Who is Benjamin at internetbs.net. So this is the domain that this email is coming from is not directly affiliated with anybody, and that should be right there. Red flag number one. So let's take a look. Okay, so dear community, another red flag. It is not addressing you as the user, dear user ABC123. It's very broad. It says, dear community, we are delighted to announce blah 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 between Binance and the Sandbox game. Da 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 da. Your once in a lifetime chance to gain an NFT for the Sandbox game. Blah blah blah. Whatever. So, highlighting this, the claim your NFT box, and it leads us to, oh, it closed right away, and let's take a look. It downloaded a file on my computer. It downloaded a text file onto my computer that is labeled .txt with a hidden extension of executable. So let's just go ahead and delete that right away. And this is just another example of an email that is, I mean, some of the things are very easy to miss. Like, for example, okay, so you have Binance over here. When it comes to the what's it called, like the way it's written. Okay, so Binance is a name. Okay, so it makes sense that it's gonna be capitalized. The Sandbox game, it's the Sandbox game. I guess the Sandbox game name is the Sandbox. So what we would be looking at is any spelling mistakes, any type of abbreviation, something that somebody who's immature or not really professional enough from a type of institution that would be writing this. So from the first paragraph, from the first line, we see that this email is very broadly addressed. So red flag number one. From the first paragraph, it's fairly well written. Okay, grammatically correct. So I personally don't see anything that's going to strike me as a red flag right off the bat. Second paragraph. This is your chance to do the ever expanding. Okay, so right over here, ever expanding. Ever expanding is not written with a dash. At least I've never seen it written with a dash. So let's do. Oh, okay. So my fault. It is written with a dash. Okay, so universe and experience its potential. With all the free NFTs from Binance, you can start creating, trading, and sharing. Okay, so my personal opinion is whenever you have a and, there's no comma in front of it, so that already is the first mistake. You can always use this NFT as in-game currency right here. I don't know why this is isolated, but this is just more of an English examination of the content of the email rather than the email itself. Extras and upgrades. We invite you to take part of the amazing NFT universe and sign up to the Sandbox game to avail this exclusive offer from Binance. Okay, we thank you for your support and look forward to welcoming you in the Sandbox game. Only the first will get access to the mint free NFT. Next two waves will giveaway with Solar and Bird NFT. Okay. Okay, so grammatically speaking, apart from if you really, really nitpick it, I don't see anything that would be standing out. The sender, obviously, that's a red flag right there. And Obviously, if you click the button, as you can see in the bottom part of it, it's the safe link protection.outlook that got triggered. The sandbox pw, you know what, just out of curiosity, the sandbox pw.com, is it? Hold on. Dot sandbox pw dot, oh, the sandbox dot pw, so it would help. I don't know. It looks to me, but this is gonna be just me being just generally picky. I wouldn't sign up to a game that's whatever. Wallet Connect, yeah, just I would personally avoid that like the plague. Okay, so just this is my way of recognizing it. I don't like this email, so reasonably it's within my junk box. All right, let's take a look at one of the next ones. Action required. Verify your ID. Coinbase, dear user. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Okay. Oh, perfect. This is actually the type of email that I wanted to talk about, and it's a good example, and there's a lot of points to bring up. So number one, if the sender is Coinbase, the email will actually have Coinbase as the sender. Verify ID is not really a valid sender. And then you see this randomly generated string that doesn't really give a specification. And then the domain is at edistack.top, which an email coming from Coinbase being labeled at an edistack.top top level domain from an email sender is red flags flying everywhere. So dear user, they're addressing me by email rather than first and last name. This is something that companies will never do. If you signed up legitimately with a service provider or anything, they will use your first and last name or your first, depending on how their template is made. Your account is missing some info that we need to comply with financial regulations. As a result, your account is now restricted. In order to re-enable buying and selling, please blah 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 by providing a valid document. And important note, you should immediately verify your identity, otherwise your account will be disabled. If you have any questions, please refer to our support team, blah blah blah. So you can't really see this because for whatever silly reason the pop-up, the little hover pop-up doesn't show for me on OBS recording, but it says protected by Outlook, HTTP, so it's not even an HTTPS website, psc.pw/4wkh9i. Click or tap to view the link. So for an email that's self advertised to come directly from the Coinbase team, it's not referring you back to a Coinbase link, number one. Number two, the link that is actually advertised as a return is not a secure link. Anyways, it's just a basic HTTP protocol. That means that the information between your computer and the server that's providing this is not encrypted. It's not safe. And then the last thing that you want to look at is the sender information. Again, if it's something that this is all sadly information that can easily get spoofed. Verify your account to continue using Coinbase, and then just a random string of numbers, which if you go in any random generator online, 7-8 digits, whatever, and it can give you all sorts of random numbers. So this is just a bunch of stuff that you need to look out for, and Again, because I did mention that most of the time, like 95 to 99% of the time, it is user fault why systems get um, hijacked or taken over. I'm sorry, I don't have the other word that I'm looking for on top of my head. It's because somebody clicked something they shouldn't have, or somebody downloaded something they shouldn't have. And whether you like it or not, by the time you realize what's going on, it's already too late. So let's go back in here. Costco customer support, because why the hell not? And it's highlighted in yellow, so it must be really, really important. So let's see. Flag for follow up. This message was sent with high importance, and let's see. The sender is Costco customer support. No reply at Costco dot. Aha. Let's take a look. We have a different domain. So the Costco here, the seller from Costco is a subdomain dot top level domain dot extension. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the content of the email. Costco department. First off, anyone who goes to Costco knows that this is not the Costco logo. So Costco department. We have a surprise for iPad Pro customers. Start your day with our best rewards. Blah blah blah. Congratulations, since you use our services, you have been chosen to receive a brand new iPad Pro. No, 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 no. And then they give you the iPad Pro specifications, which have been taken from, if I had to assume, the GSM Arena website. Then confirm here, and as you can see at the bottom left corner of the screen, it is a t.co domain link. So it is not even something that leads you to a Costco website, but we can already deduct from the sender and the content of the email that even if this were to bring us to a Costco-like website, it wouldn't be a legitimate one. But you know what? Just for shits and gigs, let's take a look. Digimaxer.com. Blah. Oh my goodness, this is already going into. It already got redirected 3 times. So let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Tech savvy survey about offer 5 million in rewards. Blah blah blah. It's disappointing to say the least. So let's close it and move on to the next email. What should we look at? Microsoft account unusual sign-in activity. Let's see. Well, I mean, this is probably a real email, but actually, no, it's not. Access.accsecurity.com. I have never used this service, but you know what? Let's take a look at it anyways. 2. My email. Microsoft account unusual sign-in activity. Unusual sign-in activity. Sign-in activity in a legitimate email will never be written this way. We detected something unusual about Microsoft account, whatever. Sign-in details, Russia, Moscow. Okay, cool. I personally have no idea if, just because of the contents of this email, the way my email works, I have disabled this alias. So if somebody went to hotmail.com and trying to log in with Vlad_Bond_007, they would see an error message saying that the account is disabled because I have disabled login via this alias. That being said, I would highly suspect that this email is fraudulent simply because of this. And report the user, this would be a valid, I guess, a valid button, because it's a Mayo 2 link, I suppose. And I don't know. I'm a little torn apart. The unsubscribe link is again something that is a little iffy to me. I have to really sit down and think about this email in particular, to decide whether or not this is a fraudulent email. I personally would think that this is a fraudulent email. Like if I had to take a decision right now, um, simply because the unsubscribe link is an email. The fact that they're using an alias that has been disabled, reporting that it's a failed attempt, and then the email that this is coming from is not a Microsoft email. Um, just based on that, I would say this is a fraudulent email. Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna do maybe one or two more emails, and this is kind of where I will end the video, simply because we could end up doing this all day, every day, and honestly, it's just so many different ways that somebody could just take control over your system. So let's take a look at Tim Hortons rewards, because I actually drink Timmy's more often than not, and you know if you're somebody who consumes Tim Hortons on the daily, and you guys are signed up to through their to their to their webmail and their coupons and stuff like that, this would definitely be something that you could fall victim to without realizing it. So, I have already enabled the block content. Let's examine the from email just to see what. Okay, so it doesn't even want to show me the contact card for the sender. Something that I really like about Outlook is that if there is no contact card attached to it, you can be fairly certain that Microsoft has already labeled it as a spam service. So right off the bat, if there's no calling card, you can be 100% certain that this email is a spam or a virus of some type. But you know what? Just for the um oh man, okay. So just out of curiosity, let's examine that. So straight off the bat, okay, it looks legitimate. You win a $500 Timmy's gift card, answer and win, take a survey. So yopship.com is actually if this is exactly what I'm thinking about, this would be. Oh, okay. There we go. So I was thinking about a different website. So Yopship is not even a secure connection because it's an HTTP. So obviously your browser is going to tell you that, and then when somebody's sending you an email and you go to that domain and it says website is coming, definitely strike them out as somebody who is not a legitimate sender. And another thing to take a look at, if they have Imgur as their image hosting provider, you already know that's not very dependable as a vendor, or somebody who's as an email sender. Let's take a look at one more thing, and I would guess that would be their list. Mrs. Julia Hamilton. Oh my goodness, what she has sent me a novel. Alright, Mrs. Julia Hamilton, nglove2013 at gmail.com. Okay, who are you? Do you have several possible matches? Okay, whatever. I don't care. Greetings in the precious name of our Lord Jesus Christ, who gave his life, blah, 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 blah. I mean, somebody who's just sitting this and reading in their email casually is going, just based off of this greeting, I guess. This just opening right there, you will know that is, somebody's, it just, the first thing that comes to mind when I read an opening like this is those missionaries that go knocking on people's doors, hey, in the name of our Lord and Savior, blah blah blah, whether it's Mormon, whether it's Christian, whether it's Judaism, whether it's whatever, you already know that it's not something too legitimate or something that you would not want to get involved with. But you know what? Let's keep the template of the other emails that we have been sort of looking at and just go over and examine the body of the email, and then if there's any possible um, suspect aspects of this email, and we'll go from there. Okay, so my name is Miss Julia Hamilton, age of 62, wife of blah 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 blah. We don't care about your life, lady. My husband died after a brief illness that only lasted for 4 days. I mean, okay, not that I care. We were born again Christians, blah blah blah. I decided not to remarry before my husband died. He had a cash investment of $35 million, blah blah blah. Okay, so red flag right here. If somebody tells you $35 million with numbers, they're not really gonna reiterate with parentheses $35 million. I like to think that across different cultures, people recognize what 35 is, and there's no point in you rewriting 35 as words. Before my husband died, hold on, where were we? Oh yes, I am in the Bupa Cromwell Hospital, United Kingdom, where I'm undergoing treatment of two deadly diseases of breast cancer and cancer of the blood. Okay, sucks to suck. Before my husband died, it was with his last wish to ensure that his 35 million be used for charity across the world. It is for this reason I humbly request you to help me stand and receive this payment, blah blah blah. And oh, look at their generosity. They have decided to give me 5 million United States. So, something that immediately strikes me as fishy is that whenever you see the sum mentioned, like $35 million, and then $5 million, and then $30 million, one of the things is that it's not consistently written. First off, right here, 35 million. There is a space in the word. But then when they mention 5 million, which is my supposed reward, there is no space. And then the leftover 30 million, there is no space either. So, just because you made the difference, what, the space got away? What's going on here? And then the second thing that strikes me a little weird is that million United dollars. It's United, yeah, so 35 million United dollars, but then again it's million United States dollars. Is that the first letter of every word is capitalized? I don't think United States dollars is capitalized, but that's something that automatically strikes me as fishy. And then we're going down into the to the email. 35M. Nobody professional is going to write $35 million like this. And then going down into the email, 35 million United States dollars. Again, each first letter is capitalized. And then 5 million United States dollars. Again, each first letter is capitalized. And then 30 million United States dollars, again with the missing space. And this is actually, it's not even United States dollars, it's 30 million United dollars. So, the naming nomenclature that they're using is falling apart very quickly. So, the doctor will not allow me to talk to anybody, but I have a reverend father who knows my family for over 20 years. This, like, automatically, I would say that the person who was writing this doesn't have deep knowledge or understanding of the English language, and the errors and mistakes that they have been making are the equivalent of mistakes of errors of somebody who would be making in primary or secondary high school. The doctor will not allow me to talk to anybody. Okay. And then, but I have a reverend father who knows my family for over 20 years. I have a reverend father who knows my family. This is just, the more you pronounce it, the less it sits right. The less it's comfortable, the more you say it. I have a reverend father. I'm like, well, okay, reverend is capitalized, but oh, okay, father is capitalized too. Sorry, it's just I thought for whatever reason it's not capitalized, but that would have been another thing that I would have pointed out is that in most languages, father is capitalized. My who knows my family for over 20 years, so who's known my family for over 20 years and has always come to the hospital to pray for me. And then there's like the spacing here. I will forward your name and email address and other contact to just see. The more you read this paragraph, the more. But you know what? Let's continue because I already know that this is a email that's aimed at you to steal your information. So let's see. I will forward your name, email address, and other contact information to Reverend Father Colson Owen, who is presently in the United States of America. Like United States of American. What is United? This it's not a thing, for missionary assignment. Like, okay, no, missionary assignment. I don't believe that missionary assignment is an expression in English. And right after a period, they're using a lowercase letter so that he will supervise the processing of your power of attorney. All I want from you is to take time out of your very busy schedule and see to the success of receiving this payment within the shortest period of time, because the directors of the bank where the fund is where. Okay, whoa, hold the phone over here. This is getting way too complicated, and this sentence is already like 10 lines long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, sorry, I was close. So let's examine it, line by line. Okay. All I want from you is for you to make sure is, well, for you is not necessary, is to make time out of your very busy schedule and see to the success of receiving this payment within the shortest period of time, because the directors of the bank, oh, bank is capitalized, the bank, which bank, where the funds are deposited, may want to use the funds for their selfish purpose in case anything happened to your beloved sister, Miss Julia Hamilton. Like this, oh man, just this is giving me, oh boy, this is giving me an aneurysm without even thinking about it too much. Okay, so there's basically a grammatical, is that a thing? A grammar mistake or grammatical mistake basically on every line of this paragraph. So, the more you read into it, the more you're going to realize that, these little errors and these little faults uh, will be shining at you like an oncoming truck with their high beams on. It's like something that will pick at you, and it's going to be obvious basically. So kindly reply to this mail. Well, it's not mail, it's email, as soon as possible, and remember to indicate your full name, your contact address, and your telephone number. So this right here, the information that they're asking for is basic verification information that your banking institution would use. So, for example, for my Canadian compatriots, if you're using Tangerine or Simply, name, address, telephone number is part of the verification questions before the customer service representative is asking for, before they give you access, right? And then hoping to hear from you soonest. Please reply. Thank you and God bless you. Blah blah blah. Miss Julia Hamilton. Again, this is, especially towards the end of the email, this is just general information that is going to be raising red flags left, right, and center, and it should be very, very obvious by now when you are looking at like a fraudulent type of email, whether or not it contains uh, uh, like a virus file, or just something that's too good to be true. And right, this is just another point that I want to bring out, is if something sounds too good to be true, and I cannot underline this enough, right? Like if something sounds too good to be true, okay, it's because it basically is, right? Don't, please just do yourself a favor. If there's an email from a sender that you particularly have never had contact before, or if it's an email that you do not recognize, please, for the first step that you want to do, okay, the first step really that you want to do is verify, sorry, is verify the sender, right? Like if the sender is a familiar email, like in this example, in this example, nglove2013 at gmail.com. This is not an email that I am familiar with. There, as you can see, Outlook doesn't see any previous contact with this information. Sorry, with this recipient. Um, if you do not recognize the sender of the email, or if this sounds familiar, like at BMO or RBC or CIBC, whatever banking institution you're working at, if it sounds familiar but you are not certain, okay, just don't respond to it. It's simple as that, okay? And just basically the bottom of this 42 minutes, 42, 43, 45 minute video, whatever, is just to basically say, um, the reason why identities get stolen and networks get intruded, and basically why the bad things happen, is because somebody would overlook very, very like I said, at this point it wouldn't be basic anymore, but it's definitely a red flag, right? If you're overlooking red flags of things that are too good to be true, or maybe if you're hoping or looking out for the next best thing, right? Please don't, right? Your information, there's a reason why government institutions, banks, service providers like your internet service provider or your cell phone provider very often underline by saying, please keep your information private. Do not share your information. Or if you have any doubts that our company has called you, hang up and dial back, right? And these are very good ways and resources to deter somebody who's potentially trying to fish you, to fish for your identity and steal your information. So please, just be mindful. Uh, be mindful. Be alert. In this day and age, in the digital era, there is all types of information predators who are looking for somebody who is very gullible, for somebody who really is just ready to freely give their information versus, against the promise of something, whether it's a monetary gain, whether it's a title change or whatever. Just please be mindful, be alert, and be careful. This stuff is way more popular, right? And just be careful. Install ad blockers, filter through your email, properly mark junk, and just be careful out there, right? Like there's so much that could go wrong, that you can stop existing on paper. You can stop existing within 24 to 48 hours, and even then it's just it's the bureaucratic nightmare that you would be going through. Is just it's horrible. Please just be mindful, be alert. Again, right, like the most vulnerable person is the person in front of the computer. and once your information is out there, it's just out there, right? Thank you so very much for tuning into the next video. I realized that my uploads are very sporadic. Just, I'm just extremely busy. I currently work 2 different jobs, and I know you don't want to hear my sob story, but at the end of the day, for me to be able to start doing this more often, it's just, subscribe, man. Look at the videos more. If I am able to start making money off of YouTube, I don't have to work a second job, and then I can continue making content for YouTube, and it's just something that it's gonna definitely help pay the bills. And if I can do this more often, if I can do this longer, I will be definitely able to put out more content. So subscribe, watch the videos. I don't really want to ask for donations. I understand that every tech tuber, basically everybody and their grandma, is on Patreon asking for money. Just for me, it's gonna be enough if you subscribe, watch the video. If you allow, I guess, ad blocker to just play the ads, I would be more than happy. And thanks so very much for watching this. I will see you guys in the next one. I will try to make the next video to be a tour of my home lab. There is somebody who inquired that they wanted to see my resources. By the time I come across, by the time I come to do this, I actually have some pretty awesome surprises for you guys. And when I am able to actually give you the tour of my home lab, a lot of you guys are gonna get knocked down. It's actually pretty great. I've put a lot of thought into my home lab, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So just thank you once again. uh, Thank you so very much for watching this. If you have reached it so far, if you haven't, just I hope you do. If you pick up on my videos more often than not, it'll definitely become a more regular thing. If I can start paying the bills with YouTube at some point, I wouldn't have to go deliver pizzas anymore. So that means I will have more time to make YouTube content, and just rather than once every month and a half or once a month or whatever, I will be able to do this more often. So again, thanks so very much, guys, for tuning in. Please be mindful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Ciao for now.